Now let's try to solve the sample problem number 1. A village of 20,000 in Konohagakure generates 0.95 kg per capita per day of municipal solid waste. A town of the same size in the Komogakure generates 1.9 kg per capita per day of municipal solid waste. How much municipal solid waste is generated in each town, and how many trucks would be needed to collect the waste twice weekly? The trucks each have the capacity of 4.5 metric tons and operate 5 days per week. Assume that the trucks average 2 loads per day at 75% capacity. So we are going to calculate for the amount of municipal solid waste generated in each town, the Konohagakure and the Komogakure, and the number of trucks needed to collect the waste twice weekly in each town. So the amount of municipal solid waste generated is simply the number of people multiplied by the per capita of municipal solid waste generation rate. So for the Konohagakure town, the municipal solid waste generated is equal to 20,000 times the 0.5 kilogram per capita per day or per person per day. So it's 0.95 kilograms per person per day, and it is equivalent to 19,000 kilograms per day. So that's the municipal solid waste generated for the Konohagakure town. Now for the Komogakure town, it's the municipal solid waste generated is equal to 20,000 people times 1.9 kilograms per person per day. So that's equivalent to 38,000 kilograms per. So we already have the answers for the question number 1. Now let's calculate the number of trucks needed to collect the waste twice weekly. To determine the number of collection trucks needed by each town, first we have to calculate the total amount generated by each town on a weekly basis. So earlier we solved the municipal solid waste generated per day, and now let's calculate the municipal solid waste generated weekly. So for Konohagakure town, the municipal solid waste generated weekly is equal to 19,000 kilograms per day. This is the rate per day times 7 days for 1 week, which is equivalent to 133,000 kilograms per week. Cancel. And for the Komogakure town, we have this municipal solid waste generated weekly is equal to the rate per day, which is equivalent to 38,000 kilograms per day times 7 days for 1 week. And this is equivalent to 266,000 kilograms per week. So we already have their rate weekly. And the next thing we are going to do is to determine the capacity of each truck. Now, to calculate for the capacity of each truck is equivalent to, we have 2 loads per day. So that's 2 loads per day since twice daily. Multiply by the 0.75, which is the capacity of each truck. Then multiply by 4.5 tons per truckload. Then we need to convert the ton into kilograms. So 1 ton is equivalent to 1,000 kilograms. So the capacity of each truck is equivalent to 6,750 kilograms per day per truck. So that is the capacity of each truck. Now, the next thing we are going to do is to determine the total collection demand that must be met by an unknown number of trucks. So there are 2 collections occur, effectively splitting the demand in half for each residence during the 5-day work week. Using the municipal solid waste generation rates calculated earlier each week, the Konoha-Gakure town generates 133,000 kilograms of municipal solid waste, and because the waste is collected twice a week, each truck collects 66,000 kilograms every 2.5 days during a 5-day work week. And similarly, for the Kumo-Gakure town, each truck collects 133,000 kilograms every 2.5 days during a 5-day work week. Finally, we are going to calculate how many trucks are needed to fill this demand by dividing the total collection demand by the capacity for a single truck. Now, for the Konoha-Gakure town, the weekly rate is equivalent to 133,000 kilograms, then splitting into two. So we need to multiply them in 0.5 divided by 2.5 days, which for the 5-day work week, which we are going to split the 5-day work week, so 2.5 days each. The collection is twice weekly times the 6,750 kilograms per day per truck, which is the capacity of each truck. So for the Konoha-Gakure town, we need 3.94 or equivalent to 4 trucks. Now let's calculate for the Kumo-Gakure town. Similar calculation for the Kumo-Gakure town. Now for the Kumo-Gakure town, we also need to multiply the weekly rate into 0.5. Now the weekly rate for the Kumo-Gakure town is equivalent to 266,000 kilograms, and then multiply by 0.5 divided by the 2.5 days. Since we are going to split the collection for 2, multiply by the capacity of each truck, which is 6,750,000 kilograms per day per truck. And this is equivalent to 7.88 or 8 trucks. Now, we already solved what is asked in the problem.